Oh, so I'm gonna move down here, because I just stay here?
You can work it from there.
I better,
I'll slide you the gap if you'd like.
okay.
Well, we've had some cold in November.
Well, you're right there, but that's okay, I can be here.
Okay.
I would snow on Thanksgiving.
All right.
Well, we're in Michigan, so it's okay. Yeah.
Good evening, we're gonna call our meeting to order. Would you please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Are there any additions to or deletions from the board agenda?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to move right on to our monthly spotlight, Students of the Month, and we're going to start off with the high school, please.
Good evening, my name is Kelly Millen. I'm the principal at Dowagiac Union High School. It's my honor to present Dowagiac Union High School Student of the Month, Demaya Brooks, and her nominating teacher, Mrs. Amy Hackett. Mrs. Hackett teaches both earth and physical science and leads as the science department chair at the high school. It is my privilege to turn the podium over to her so that she can introduce our honoree.
Good evening. I am very privileged to be here to share Demaya with you this evening. She is a 16-year-old junior at Dowagiac Union High School. Her parents are Angela and Devon. She's one of 4 siblings, Daquan, Deshawn, Demaya, and Dariana, if you can see the theme there. Her 2 older brothers graduated from DUHS, and her sister is currently a middle schooler as well. One of the things about Demaya is that she is an overachieving student athlete, and if you knew Demaya as a 9th grader walking into our building, you would know that she has grown by leaps and bounds and matured tremendously, and the entire staff that knows her is extremely proud of how far she's come. I nominated Demaya because she comes into my class 7th hour at the end of the day, every day with a big smile on her face. She's happy to be there, and she completely changes the classroom dynamic. Everybody loves being around her. She has a positive attitude, and she makes for a really fun environment in the class. So we congratulate Demaya.
She's trying to escape so quickly. So each of tonight's Student of the Months will receive our certificate that reads, Dowagiac Union Schools October Student of the Month. The school board, administration, and staff appreciate your academic performance and mentoring of fellow students. It'll be signed by the building principal and superintendent, Jonathan Wan. So with that, one more round of applause. Congratulations to Demaya.
Next is the middle school.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Whiteman. I'm the principal of Dowagiac Middle School, and I do have the pleasure of introducing to you Angel Brito. He is our Student of the Month for October. Angel's very polite. He's shy. It's sometimes hard to get a lot of answers out of him because he's so shy, but he does a great job here at the school. He is very studious, and also he is very kind and is a great citizen. Angel is a 7th grade student here at the middle school and is the son of Andres and Natalia Brito. He has 5 older brothers, Leo, Antonio, Mariano, Pedro, and Andres, and 7 sisters, Adelie, Martha, Ruby, Carolina, Elizabeth, Guadalupe, and Natalie. And I want to say he's joined here tonight with his mother here, who is in the audience. Thank you for coming. Angel says what he loves most about Dowagiac Middle School is earning Heroes tickets so he can buy things in our school store. He also said that people want them. In order to get them, they have to be good in school and they need to follow our rules. And he's very true. It's very true. Angel was nominated by his math teacher, Mr. Brogan, who teaches our 7th grade math and advanced math classes here at the middle school. And he had this to say about Angel and why he nominated him. Angel is a fantastic student that I have in class. He does a great job of demonstrating our heroes' expectations every day here at DMS. Specifically, Angel understands and exemplifies what it means to be respectful, honest, and compassionate towards teachers and his fellow students. These 3 characteristics help create a positive learning environment in math class and in our school. That is why Angel deserves to be our DMS Student of the Month. Angel says he likes to spend time with his family and play board games. I like doing that too. His favorite board game is Monopoly. He likes it because it gets very intense, especially when someone goes bankrupt in his house. He also says he enjoys reading. His favorite genre is fiction. Angel said he really likes the books written by author Albert Watke, and his favorite one being Alabama Moon. Angel also says he loves spending time with his pet Chihuahua, Blackie, who loves to play when he gets home from school. Angel did have some advice to give to other students interested in wanting to also become a Chieftain Student of the Month, and he had this to say to them. I would tell them to listen and follow the school's heroes' expectations. I would also tell them to pay attention to your teachers and to make the right decisions on who you hang out with in school. So on behalf of the staff and students here at Dowagiac Middle School, we would like to congratulate Angel for being selected as our October 2022 Student of the Month.
Okay, next we're going to have Kinchlow.
Alrighty, good evening. My name is Ryan Zelo. I am the principal at Kinchlow Elementary, and I have the honor and privilege to introduce you to Stella Layton and why she is our October Student of the Month. But in fact, I'm going to have Miss Green tell you all the wonderful things about Stella.
Good evening, I'm Frances Green, 4th grade teacher at Kinchlow Elementary. My nominee for this month is Stella Layton. She's the daughter of Lauren and Keith Layton. She lives in Dowagiac with her parents and her younger brother, Jace, who is in the 2nd grade at Kinchlow. She has 2 dogs, Blue and Shelby. At home, Stella enjoys playing with her brother, Jace, riding her 4-wheeler, or playing with her Barbies. She also loves to draw. One of the things she likes to draw are landscapes because she finds them challenging. Stella is also very involved in sports. She plays softball, basketball, soccer, and her personal favorite, volleyball. And she told me today that they won the championship yesterday. Whoop, whoop. When asked what she likes about playing sports, she stated that she loves being outside in the fresh air. In school, Stella loves art class and writing. However, her favorite subject is science. When I asked why science was her favorite subject, she said, because you can have fun while you learn. Stella is a shining example of what it means to be a Dowagiac hero. I've had the pleasure of teaching her for 2 years. I was 3rd grade last year, and I looped up with her this year. She's always come to my class prepared, ready to learn. If I ask her to partner with someone, she doesn't hesitate to help them. Our classroom motto is, we are a classroom family, and she has taken that to heart and treated her classroom brothers and sisters with respect and given them encouragement when they needed it. I have enjoyed watching her grow into the lovely, confident, and sweet young lady that you see before you. It is my privilege to introduce Kincheloe Student of the Month, Stella Layton.
Patrick Hamilton.
Good evening. My name is Miss Conlon. I am the principal at Patrick Hamilton Elementary, and I have the privilege of introducing Miss Lacey Adams Tinch, our 4th grade student of the month. And I will introduce Miss Ashley Slusher as well, her classroom teacher, to tell you a little bit more about why she chose Lacey for our student.
Good evening. I'm Ashley Slusher, 4th grade teacher at Pat Ham. Lacey is a delight to have in my class. She is a student who wastes no time. She comes into class prepared and always works and completes assignments. There is never a time she doesn't participate in class and follow directions. Lacey is an excellent example of what it means to be a chieftain hero. On top of being a great student, Lacey is a great person. She is friendly, kind, and always smiling. She often volunteers to help out in the classroom. Because of her outstanding habits as a student, I have no doubt she will be very successful in the future.
In addition, when interviewed, Lacey told me a few interesting things about herself. First, she's accompanied this evening by her mother and father, Mr. and Mrs. Weber, and her 3 siblings, Mason, Oakland, and Lane. Mason is also a student at Patrick Hamilton Elementary. She has 1 dog and 3 cats, Callie, Shark, and Star, and Jewel the dog. Her hobbies outside of school are riding horses, and she loves her grandma's old horse, Cody, and told us a great story about having him, riding him without a saddle. And she got all wet because he was apparently very sweaty. Her favorite subject in school is math because she's good at it and she likes adding. When asked how should others act in order to be a student of the month as well, and she says to be quiet, don't talk, especially when the teacher is talking, to do your work all the time, and most important thing to do is to follow the chieftain expectations and be a chieftain hero. Lacey is an excellent example of a chieftain hero. Thank you, Lacey. Great job.
And now we have Sister Lakes.
Good evening. My name is Alicia Stout, and I am the principal at Sister Lakes Elementary, and I would like to introduce to you Landon Lozada. Landon is our 4th grade October Student of the Month. He is a student in Mrs. Hatch's 4th grade class, and he is accompanied by his mom, Jordan, and sister, Ember, who is also a 2nd grader at Sister Lakes. When I asked Mrs. Hatch why she chose Landon, this is what she had to say. She chose Landon to be our October Student of the Month because he has such a kind heart. Landon is the first one to hold the door open for someone, encourage a classmate, or offer a helping hand. His helpful nature leads him to stack chairs, pick up trash, anything around the room to help, especially without being asked. Landon is also a very hardworking student. He stays focused during lessons and participates often. Landon never complains about assignments and willingly complies with all requests. His easy smile and eagerness makes him an absolute pleasure to have in class. I am so proud of this young man. And as the principal of Sister Lakes, we are all very proud of Landon and very lucky to have him in our building. So congratulations, Landon.
Now Justice Gage Elementary School.
Good evening, Brian Henry, and I'm the principal of Justice Gage Elementary, and I'm here to introduce our October Student of the Month, Mackenzie Price, and our 4th grade teacher, Mr. J.T. Lairway, is here to talk about all the wonderful things about Mackenzie.
Good evening. My name is J.T. Lairway. I'm 4th grade teacher at Justice Gage. I'm elated to announce Mackenzie Price as this month's Justice Gage Student of the Month. Mackenzie is a hardworking and helpful student in my 4th grade class. She's the 9-year-old daughter of Corey and Kelly Price and has a little sister, Maddie, who keeps them all on their toes. Mackenzie is truly the definition of perseverance. She's a student who wastes no time. She comes into class prepared and always works to complete all of her assignments. She's even willing to take time out of her own recess to get better clarification if there's something that she doesn't understand. There's never a time she doesn't participate in class discussion. On top of being a great student, Mackenzie's also a great person. She is friendly, kind, and always has a smile on her face. Not only can Mackenzie be seen being a great friend in the classroom, but also on the playground. She keeps this up before and after school by being the best big sister. Congratulations, Mackenzie.
Mr. Lairway, excellent job of explaining all the accomplishments of Mackenzie. When I was interviewing Mackenzie the other day, I had the first answer that I've never had before. On the question of favorite thing about school. And what did you say, Mackenzie? Homework. And I go, really? And she goes, yeah. So that was pretty cool. When she grows up, Mackenzie wants to be a firefighter, a Texas game warden, or she would like to work in the Army. A couple other things, too, about why she was chosen as a Justice Gage Student of the Month. She said, I am very kind to all students, teachers, and staff. I stay patient with all students, even when they are making bad choices. So once again, congratulations to Mackenzie Price.
Okay, we're going to take a 10-minute recess so all the students of the month can have their pictures taken, and then we'll be back. Thank you. Okay, we're going to call the second half of our meeting to order, and the first thing we're going to do, we have our high school student representatives here. So if they'd like to come up and give us their report, we would love to hear it.
Hi there, my name is Josie Locke. I'm a senior at the high school.
And my name is Demaya Brooks, and I'm a junior at the high school.
So to start off our high school notes, we have the National Honor Society and Rotary Interact inducted new members last week, and we want to congratulate those new deserving students.
And the Environmental Club raised over $1,200 with the recent water bottle sales.
The National Honor Society is hosting their annual blood drive tomorrow for students and staff.
And sophomores will be visiting Van Buren Tech Center next month to see what that program has to offer students.
To add a note on that, I go to Van Buren Tech and I'm in the Agriculture and Natural Resources class, and I can say we are very excited in planning some sessions for the students.
Reminders is Monday through Thursday, teachers are offering after-school tutoring for any student in need or just needs help with assignments and anything else.
Some upcoming events that we have are December 2nd is our annual holiday parade. December 14th is a band concert. December 15th is a choir concert. Defending district champion girls basketball has a home opener on November 29th.
Wrestling opens at home on December 7th, and the boys basketball team opens at home on December 9th. Finally, we would like to welcome our two new teachers to the school, Judy Henkel and Christian Yule, and we want to welcome to the DUHS family.
Thank you guys for your time.
Terry, is there any correspondence?
I have no correspondence.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're down to hearing of the citizens, and we do have one citizen that has come to speak with us this evening, Christina Bushel. Bushel? Perfect, thank you.
Good evening. I join you tonight to address the complicated dynamic my daughter has experienced between Heritage Southwest ISD and Dowagiac Union Schools. I am the parent of a shared student who attends Brookside Learning Center and Kincheloe Elementary. You did not have the opportunity to meet my daughter earlier alongside her peers who were recognized, but she also achieved Student of the Month at Brookside. Since my daughter started school in the Dowagiac district, she and my family have felt alienated by our community. I have spoken with educators who have told me that families finally feel like they are part of a community when their children transitioned into the ISD. Well, this is not the vision that I have for my daughter. I have no intention of segregating her solely to Heritage and leaving our district, our Dowagiac community behind. I want to help the community to understand that the ISD supports them with services, and although they are separate, their collaboration is vital to all students' development. This starts with our district taking ownership of all their students and honoring my daughter's accomplishment just as her peers were tonight. My daughter has shown Dowagiac schools that she can be included in a modified general education setting, but is now at risk of her time being decreased due to the potential inability of the district providing the appropriate support needed for her development. Children in Michigan with complex learning abilities are being left behind because we as a state still operate our special education programs at the bare minimum of requirements set forth by the federal government. We are surrounded by states who operate at a higher standard of inclusion practices and do not segregate their students in self-contained buildings. Regret was expressed at last month's meeting for families who are choosing to leave our district due to unresolved issues. I feel as if my daughter is being left behind in the district because of a lack of evolution surrounding our special education services. I'm addressing the board tonight to use the frustration felt by our community to promote positive change for all students. I ask you to stand up for our children by joining the movement in our nation, creating change for students with different learning abilities. Let's make Dowagiac School District the face of change in Cass County. I'll close tonight by presenting my daughter, Audrey, down there in the front row, to the board as a student of the month at Brookside Learning Center, who has also been attending Kincheloe Elementary for more than a year. Here's a few words that Audrey's teacher had to say regarding her nomination. The focus of the month was encouraging, and Audrey encourages her friends every day to participate in Circle Time. She has engaged our class in the songs that talk about our seasons by clapping to the beats and humming the appropriate pitch to encourage them to sing along. My class is majority nonverbal, so these positive communicative interactions are very important. Thank you, and I look forward to continuing the conversation in the coming months.
Up to actually be able to recognize her appropriately, as we've done with some of the other ones.
If the board would so like.
Would you please bring Audrey up to the stage, please?
Thank you. Audrey. Hi, Audrey. How are you? Congratulations, okay?
I keep doing well.
Okay, we're going to move on now to the informational items and the financial report. Stacy?
I'm a citizen. Can I take a moment of your time, citizen?
Sorry, the
Do I
time
have to
is
get
past.
on the list?
You really should have signed up at the beginning, yes, I'm sorry.
At the beginning of the meeting?
Yes, one of these sheets.
Okay.
If you could come next time, we would love to hear from you.
I'll definitely do that.
Thank you so much.
It is recommended that the bills be paid as follows. General fund, $1,180,915.08. Food service, $305,225.29. Capital projects, $21,131.98. And the activity account of $10,582.48. And then we'll have our audit presentation tonight.
Okay, we're going to move, is this your next superintendent's report?
Yes.
And then the audit, okay.
Yes. Again, a lot of positive things happening within the district. Our auto shop students won a $5,500 Napa toolbox in a competition that they participated in where they were assessed for their skills. That's quite the accomplishment. The Dowagiac Fire Department visited Justice Gage in one of our fire prevention strategies with all the students. Our girls golf team earned academic all honors for the 7th consecutive year. Chieftain Hart held Socktober. Students donated 574 pairs of socks, which is an incredible gift on their part to help local needy people. Our 8th graders were participating in the Career Day Expo at Kalamazoo Expo Center, where they're exploring various booths and shared information about multiple careers. I hope you had an opportunity to participate in the fall play of Charlotte's Web. I thought it was well done and a very entertaining time. I really enjoyed how the students used puppets to represent the animals that they were. So it was, you saw the students And then they were also using the puppets. I thought that was quite clever. I liked it a lot. I personally like Charlotte's Web, so I was very happy to hear the play. And we also had our annual high school art program, a cross-curricular event, or a birdhouse project, and the students did their presentations a couple weeks ago. And that's where students in a team create a birdhouse. They do research on a particular type of bird. They structure the birdhouse to represent in artistic ways, the different birds, and it's a very impressive event. Our senior luncheon put on by our students was on November 10th, a way for our students to give back to the community. It was well attended. It's a great event. Also, I think they're both here, Stephanie Cooper Tucker and Rob Ickes, our newly elected board members for the 24 through 27 terms. Congratulations to both. There are many other things going on in the district. That's why we've been very, very happy with the postings going on in the different media outlets, and you heard many from our students. So let's call that good for the evening.
Okay. Now we're going to move on with the
Now we're going to
final
move
audit.
on. Let's see if we can make the tech work. Tyler Baker is here to present to the board our annual budget review from last year, and let's hope this works. Give it a shot.
Can you hear me okay?
Try again.
How about now?
Is that good out there, folks? All right. I got thumbs up.
Perfect. That's what we're looking for. First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me this evening. Like Jonathan said, my name is Tyler Baker. I'm a manager at Maynard Costerison, and this evening we have a presentation for you of our audit report for the 6/30 of 2022 fiscal year. I want to thank Stacy, Jonathan, and their team for all of their efforts and availability throughout the audit process. It allows for a smooth process for everybody and is greatly appreciated on our end. The easiest way, I would think, for questions would be to maybe save them to the end, and then Jonathan can kind of filter those through me, since I can't necessarily see everybody. So I think that's the easiest that we're going to do. You can throw things at Jonathan if you have any questions instead of me this time.
Throw questions, not items. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Let's clarify.
Exactly. That's what I said. So you have a few things in front of you. You should have the bound audit report, a single-spaced letter, and then a PowerPoint presentation. What we're going to go through tonight is a PowerPoint presentation, which takes the vast majority of the key areas that we want to focus on and puts it in a nice, digestible presentation for everybody. So we'll get started. If you flip to the first page, you see audit results. The whole purpose of this audit is to come up with our audit opinion, and this year, consistent with previous years, we have an unmodified opinion, basically meaning that the financial statements were materially correct in accordance with GAAP. This is the highest level of assurance that us as independent auditors can provide, and like I said, that is consistent with previous years, but I think is good for the board to hear also. These few pages of the audit report are the only thing that are the auditors. The rest of the financial statements are that of the district itself. If we flip to the next page, new for fiscal year 2022. Obviously, there's been a lot of talks over the last couple years on ESSER and GEAR grants. In the current year, there was $4.2 million of one-time education stabilization fund grants that were expended, and we'll talk a little bit more about the single audit. But the expenditures in the current year were mainly due to ESSER 2 and ESSER 3 grants being expended this year. Also new in the current year is the adoption of GASB 87, or leases. What this was it took, if there were material leases for equipment, buildings, physical items, the GASB is to put those right-to-use assets and liabilities on the books. In evaluating those with management, that did not have a material effect on the district itself. It was evaluated, but nothing on the financial statements itself will change in regards to 87. What probably will have a significant effect on the districts, and we think most districts throughout the state, is GASB 96, which has to do with subscription-based IT arrangements. So that is softwares, that's Office 365, that's financial systems, that's all of the items that are leased or have a subscription-based that are software. Right now, all the district can really do is just as you're making those payments, keeping those agreements, keeping that inventory listing available. And then once we come back to next fiscal year, which is when it is effective, we will work through evaluation of those agreements with management, but has the same effect that GASB 87 has. Next page, government-wide net position. The table off to the left, this is the only place where you can see comparative financial information from one year to the next, and this is within the MD&A, Management Discussion and Analysis. This is on the full accrual, which includes long-term assets and long-term debt. A couple key areas we want to point out. Current assets increased approximately $3.7 million. That's mainly due to capital asset additions in the current year, which the main ones were baseball field improvements, roofing, and then other furniture and equipment also. Liabilities, there were a couple of variances that I want to point out. Long-term obligations, which are your debt and bond payments, that decreased $2 million due to your annual bond payments. Other liabilities increased just under $2 million, and that's due to timing of payments for the roofing project, as well as unearned revenue for restricted grants. One thing we'll also notice, and we'll touch base in a couple slides, is net other post-employment benefits and net pension overall decreased $4.6 million and $13.8 million, respectively. And those are large numbers. And the reason is due to the plan year. MIPSRS is on a 9/30 of 21 plan year, and if you think of what the market was at 9/30 of 21, everything was high. And so basically what happened is that the plan had actual investment income more than expected, which caused that net liability to decrease significantly. And what that did is then basically move into that deferred inflows of resources right below the total liability line. And that will be amortized over 5 years, slowly impacting the net income, because they don't want those ebbs and flows to the investment market to hit the net income all in 1 year. So big picture, that's kind of what happens. If you remember just a few months ago what the market was/is like as of 9/30 of 22, we'll see the opposite swing of that. So I just wanted to point that out to give some background on kind of what that accounting looks like as a plan in total for the district. Net position increased $6.8 million, again, mainly due to that net decrease in the OPEB and net pension that wasn't allocated towards the deferred inflows of resources. Next page, balance sheet for governmental funds. So the left two columns are the general fund and capital projects, building and site fund. Those are the two major funds in the current year. General fund had assets of just under $9.3 million with liabilities of 4.1 for a total fund balance of 5.1 million. We will go into detail on the net income as well as the budget actual for the general fund also. Capital projects fund, building and site, has assets of $1.3 million as of 6/30. And then you see that third column total non-major funds with assets of $2 million, liabilities of $133,000, with a fund balance of just under 1.9 million. That total non-major funds includes your funds like the food service fund, your student activity fund, the remainder of the 2016 capital projects fund, and then your debt service fund. If we can switch to the next page, this is the income statement for the governmental funds. And so you can see that left column with the general fund, middle of that statement, you see the net change in fund balance of a decrease of 332,000 in the current year for the general fund, taking the fund balance from 5.4 to 5.1, with an ending fund balance as a percentage of your total expenditures in the general fund of 19%. And we will touch base on that number also in a subsequent slide. Capital projects, building and site fund increased $614,000 due to a transfer in the current year, bringing those assets up to $1.3 million of fund balance. And then total governmental funds, the far right column, remain very consistent overall, with a net change in fund balance for the district-wide of just a decrease of $2,600. So the next page is a little bit of comparison, ISD-wide. The top section is the most recent information that we have publicly available, and that's for the school year of 2021. And it shows the general fund only fund balance percentage for the ISD in total, and then the individual locals. And you notice Dowagiac with 23.7% last year, which is right in the ballpark of all of the locals overall within the ISD. You'll notice that bottom line, which is the current year fund balance percent of 19%. Obviously, we talked about that the fund balance decreased $300,000. We don't know what those other locals are quite yet, or that's not publicly to the Michigan school data, but obviously that will be updated in future years. But I think is a good kind of, not necessarily comparison because it's not necessarily apples to apples, but I think a good representation of just where all of the locals sit in regards to the general fund balance. The next page is a 3-year comparison of total revenue as well as the different types of revenue from 2020 through 2022. The main thing I want to point out is a consistent and steady growth from 2020 into 21 and into 22. You'll notice the main driver for that increase is that yellow section at the top, which is your federal awards, obviously with the one-time funding of ESSERS and the GEAR funding. As those expenditures are incurred, that's the main driver for that total increase in governmental revenues for the district over that 3-year period. The subsequent page is the same idea except for expenditures for the district for the governmental funds. You'll notice from 2020 through 2022, very consistent expenditures, which the slight decrease in 21, with 2020 being higher than anticipated, or what you would think due to the capital project expenditures in that year, which is that gray section at the top of those expenditures. So basically expenditures varying due to the capital project needs for that specific fiscal year. But overall, from 2020 through 2022, very consistent expenditures. The next page is the budget to actual in regards to the general fund specifically. Middle of the way down through that schedule, you can see the actual decrease fund balance of $332,000 compared to the expected decrease of the final budget of $974,000, which is a positive variance with the final budget of $642,000. That percentage, that amount as a percentage of the total budgeted expenditures is approximately 2.4%, which is right in the realm of what we see with most districts from a variance of net change with the final budget. The next page is kind of a big picture statewide and then the district in regards to the MIPSR's pension plan and then the OPEB plan. I won't talk too much about this, but I just wanted to point out where you can see that change in the planned fiduciary net position, which is the second line down, which went from about $51 billion to jumped all the way up to $62.7 billion for the entire statewide amount, decreasing that net pension liability, causing the district's portion of the liability to decrease from 41 million to just under 28 million. Same idea with OPEB, the bottom schedule there. You can see that total liability statewide decreased from 5.4 billion to 1.5 billion, proportionately for the district decreasing from 6.4 million to 1.8. Those are big numbers. Ultimately, the district can't do a lot about those liabilities. They are what they are. But what the district is responsible to do is to remit their payrolls to the state, which the district does. So ultimately, from a district standpoint, the district is doing all it can do in regards to its pension and OPEB liability. Next page is my favorite page. It's the schedule findings and question costs. I like to think of this kind of as a scoreboard of how everything went on a big picture for the year. And so you'll see that top section. I apologize, it is a little small, but you see the top section is if there were any internal control findings over financial reporting for the financial statements, if there was any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies, which there were none. And then in regards to federal awards, if there was any internal controls findings over the major programs, they would be noted there. There were none. And then there were no compliance findings either in regards to the single audit. This year we tested 84,425 assistant listing number, which is the ESSER or GEAR funding. We had no compliance issues noted, which those compliance requirements that are required of us to test are getting more and more stringent, which means our testing to districts have to be more and more stringent. So having no compliance issues in regards to all of those different funding buckets is a testament to the district. And so I think that's good for the board to hear also. You'll notice section 2 at the bottom there, financial statement findings, there were none. Federal award findings, there were none. Next page, we talked about this already, so we won't talk about it too much. GASB 96, that's subscription based. All the district can do right now is make the listing of it, and we'll be and have been in touch with Stacy and her team, kind of working through those requirements. The following page, governance letters and management letters. So you should have a single spaced letter with you. What that is the auditor's required communication with the board. What it is a boilerplate letter, which is good news from the board standpoint. Board standpoint, if there were any disagreements with management, if there were any findings or other items noted to be required to be presented to the board, if there was any material misstatements not corrected by management, anything to that effect, it would be required to be communicated in that letter, and there were none, so that's a boilerplate letter for the required communication, which is good news from the board standpoint. And then we did not have any management letter, which is where if there was any significant items that we noted and controls that we wanted to make management and the board aware of, or any findings that we noted during the audit, that is where we would have issued that. That is all I have for you. I appreciate the opportunity to present and to be able to provide services for DUS. Jonathan, is there any questions at this time that I can answer?
None at this time.
I don't see anything thrown.
I heard looks good, so that's.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to discuss this with you tonight. And thanks for your time.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thanks.
Good report. Okay. Is Brent here?
I don't see him. So we were planning.
Skip over that?
Yep.
Yep, okay. Okay, we're gonna move on to the consent agenda. We're gonna approve the approval of minutes from October 17th, 2022 regular meeting, approval of bills for payment, acceptance of donation from Feed the Children, approval of FMLA leave for Kelly Cromer, Bob Turner, and Cindy Brinker, and the acceptance of resignation of Tamara Horovic, Special Education Sister Lakes, and Kelly Irish, First Grade Sister Lakes. A motion, please?
I prefer make the motion to approve the items A through E as listed in the consent agenda.
Support.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Okay, new business. We're gonna approve new hires. And we have Ashley Horvath, Certified Interventionist, Patrick Hamilton, Diane Sherrill, Special Education Long-Term Substitute, Sister Lakes, and Judith Hinkle, or I can't read that, mine's a little blurry, Social Studies, Union High School. Motion, please.
I, Carrie Freeman, make the motion to approve the hiring of Ashley Horvath, Diane Sherrill, and Judy Henkel, pending all background checks, criminal checks. History and certification has been verified and approved.
Support.
Yes.
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 Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Next, we have a recommendation of approval for K through 5 math curriculum material.
I'm going to make this motion. Math's my subject. I, Terry Groth, make the motion to approve the K through 5 math curriculum materials as presented and recommended by the superintendent.
Support.
Yes.
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 Okay, next we have the first reading of new revised and replacement board policies, volume 36, number 2, Neola. Number 1, policy 5610, student suspension and expulsion, which is revised. Policy 6460, vendor relations, revised. Policy 6700, Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA revised, and policy 9150, school visitors revised.
I, Carrie Freeman, make the motion to accept the first reading of the new revised replacement board policies as listed.
Support.
Yes.
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 Yep.
Okay, we are up to the approval for high school track and fencing, the project bid.
I, Brent Brewer, make the motion to approve the high school track and fencing project in Green Construction and Engineering for the bid cost of $801,310.
Support. Yep.
Yes.
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 The approval for purchasing 2 buses. Motion?
I, Ron Jones, make the motion to approve the superintendent's request to purchase 2 used buses for an amount not to exceed $136,000.
Support. Yes.
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 Yep.
Recommendation of expulsion, student V2000728. Motion, please.
I, Carrie Freeman, make the motion that student B2000728 be expelled through the end of the 2022-23 school year with the conditions recommended by the superintendent.
Support.
Yes.
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 Yes. Recommendation of expulsion for student W2001095.
I, Brent Brewer, make the motion that student W2001095 be expelled through the end of the 2022-23 school year with conditions recommended by the superintendent.
Support.
Yes.
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 Yep.
Jonathan, discussion item? We don't have.
We don't have anything really
Anything?
tonight.
Okay. So now I would like a motion to please to go into closed session.
I, Terry Groth, make the motion to go into closed session under Open Meetings Act 15.268, Section 8, 8H. That's a lot.
Support.
Yep.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.